It's not often I see Studio MAPPA doing original anime. A little while back when I was looking at the lineup for this season, I was very intrigued by Bucchigiri and the fact that it's an original, especially after having seen one of the trailers for it. After having seen the first episode, it was really solid and has shown a lot of potential for how its premise sells it. It seemed like it would be the type of series that has a good balance between comedy and action, and I'm all for it. Although despite being a MAPPA production, I get the feeling this is going to be one of the dark horses this season, just like Campfire Cooking kinda was, especially with how much other popular standout series are currently airing. Aside from being introduced to our protagonist Origin, we get some lore about these people called the Honky People. From what I understood, they seem like former samurai who decided to become martial artists that aim for the top. Although later in the episode, they're presented as genies when Senya is introduced. More of that later. Anyways, Origin transfers to this high school full of delinquents, and they kind of reference back to the thing about the Honky People challenging each other to reach the top spot. There's these different squads in the school that fight each other for the top spot. They didn't explain exactly what the top spot is, but I'm guessing it just means who gets to become the best fighter or gang in the town. Origin's goal was just to find some hot girl he could end up laying the pipe on, and he spots a local hot girl in his class, Mahoro. She kind of seemed like one of those people who'd act all cute and nice just to get you off guard, but they're secretly trying to take advantage of you for something. I still feel like that could kind of be the case for her, but there is definitely one thing we learned about her later in the episode. I don't know how important this is, but coincidentally, one of the delinquent guys fighting at the start, Madaraka, turned out to be Origin's childhood friend from when he used to live in the city. We didn't learn too much about how the relationship was despite Madaraka constantly singing Origin's praises. They just seemed to be like training buddies for their dream of becoming a honky person. Although a lot of what Madaraka was saying seemed like empty praises out of bias, especially when you look at how Origin was shaking in his boots in the one flashback where Madaraka was getting jumped. Also, on the other hand, Origin wasn't happy to see him again. It seemed like he wanted to cut off any past ties to this town for some reason. A bit later, Madakara's friends bait Origin into going to this arcade where some other gang from another school hangs out at. So that gang ends up robbing him and chases him across the town until he ends up in the shrine we saw at the start of the episode. In a self-defense attempt, he picks up a pistol on the ground and tries to shoot them. And apparently this was a special gun. A magical bullet gets implanted into him, and like I mentioned earlier, a genie Senya is summoned. We don't really know much about him yet, aside from him mentioning he was a honky person or a Majin, same thing. Also the fact he's looking for someone. Although I don't know what correlation genies and honky people have with each other from what we know of them so far. Anyways, Origin was invited by Mahoro to go on a date during the weekend, but it was also a massive L that he was caught lacking and had to go take a shit while he was trying to rizz her up with that stone he bought. I just don't see how someone could possibly fumble the bag more than that. Also, her reaction to him giving her the rock with her name on it goes back to my earlier point about her putting on the cute and nice act. She reacts in a disgusted way, which kind of proves she's a Kushida. She acts nice, but she's actually a bitch. But maybe that's just speculation. What isn't speculation though is that she's a brocon. Because when that one gang leader guy from earlier in the episode, who's apparently her brother, shows up and starts handing Origin's ass to him, she starts getting fangirly that her brother is getting mad for her sake. Which kind of was a crazy revelation, but I probably shouldn't be surprised. It's not anime without a brocon or siscon. But the coolest part about this episode was when Origin became a stand user. So Senya fuses with Origin and pretty much kind of controls his actions, enhancing his physical strength as seen with Origin's muscle becoming buffed. So yeah, I'm really interested in how all that works and how this fight will go in the next episode. What did you guys think about this episode? Let me know down in the comments.